Imhotep, is that an African name?
Yes.
What was your name prior to that?
David Jones. Can you?
Really?
Davy Jones Locker. Can you imagine that?
David Jones. That's amazing.
Yes.
I would have never, if I had to take a guess,
Yeah.
I would have never called you David Jones.
Thank you.
What made you get rid of your American name and take on the African name?
It's not my name. It was a white slave master who had relations with one of his slaves, and they took on the name of Jones.
How old were you when you changed the name from American name to an African name?
Oh, in my 20s.
What good did it do you to change your name to an African name? How did it impact your life?
Some people love it, some people don't like it.
And how about you? How did it personally impact your life?
It went along with the pride issue and the historical issue.
So it made you feel proud to have an African name?
Yes, especially Imhotep. He was the one who built and designed and built the first pyramid.
That's amazing. And he was your cousin?
Sorry?
He was related to you?
Oh, no.
Just a name.
You know, it goes around back about 70,000 years ago.
Oh, I see.
Where they built that first pyramid.
So you claim that black people were the first people, period,
yes.
in America. Mm-hmm. Was it called America at the time?
No, the first references that I've read say called it Turtle Island. The so-called Indians called it Turtle Island. You see, black folks have been coming to the Americas for hundreds of thousands of years, and not the oldest, but the oldest recognized and date is 130,000 years ago in Mexico. They've had some dating, radiocarbon dating of bones, and they found that they were back to between 120 to 135,000 years old. So we've been coming here since then.
Oh, yeah. You believe that black people were the first people, human beings in America, and what happened was the blacks came, and then eventually the Chinese came, right?
Okay, yes.
The Asian people came.
Yes, and the Popol Vuh is the most is the Bible of the first Asians who came over. That was their Bible called the Popol Vuh, and in their Bible it shows that they said they came over 2600 BC. So Africans had been here for hundreds of thousands of years, and cultures change every 25 years to 30 years. So in 100,000 years, that's what 45,000 different times cultures changed. So they morphed into another people, whereas the people in Africa still had their cultures and everything. In America, they slowly changed, so wearing feathers and doing other things. So culturally, they had changed, but with the DNA and genetic history, that didn't change. So when the Asians come over, they mix their blood.
With the blacks.
Okay, with the blacks. And that is where the so-called Indian or red man come from.
So the blacks and the Asians, the Chinese, they were Chinese?
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say Chinese, I'd say Asians.
Asian, okay.
Yeah.
And so they came and they had sex together. Mm-hmm. And so when the white man came, he saw them, mm-hmm. and he thought that they were Indians?
Yes, that's what we call it. He thought they were Indians because he thought they were in India.
That's amazing. And so why didn't the blacks, if it's true that blacks were the first here, mm-hmm. why didn't they build America? Why were they just hanging out in the woods, smoking
Where'd you get that information?
But why didn't they build America rather than just hang out in the woods?
Well, that's another misnomer. There are pyramids all the way from Canada to not just South America, but Antarctica. There are pyramids in Antarctica. You can Google Earth. They have been covered by snow, but because of global warming, some of the pyramids have warmed up down to halfway, and you can see, obviously, it's a pyramid shape. Now, when I first saw that, there were 5 up there. Now they took down a few of them. I think there's only about 3 different pictures you can find. But they're all over the planet, pyramids. And only Africans made pyramids. No other people made pyramids. And I'm talking every continent on the planet.
That's amazing.
Yes.
How do you know what you believe is true, absolute truth?
Because of evidence. And as I said, I have 17 pieces of evidence. I can read you that list if
When you say DNA proves it, how does DNA prove that you're right?
Okay, well, they took blood of different of Black Americans all over, and the same thing in Africa, and they saw that they had the same different types of blood types and other things that come together to make your hemoglobin. So it's traceable.
And where can we find that?
You can figure one of the best places is Dr. Winters, Dr. Clyde Winters, who does incredible studies on that and has gotten that from different white scientists, because all white folks are not prejudiced. You know, all white folks are not bad and all black folks are not good.
Right.
So you have a little bit of everything. So
it's hard to know what the truth is with this kind of stuff, because every race wants to prove that they were the first on earth and everybody came from them. So there's this battle going on of egos,
right,
trying to prove that they're better than the other race, and so on and so on. So it's hard to really know what the truth is.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't want to discuss
Yeah.
religion or politics, but is it written in the Bible that, as far as you know, that black people were the first on earth, the first black man that God created? The first man that God created was a black man.
I've never read that.
Oh, okay. If it's true that black people were the first, why is that important? Why is it important?
Why is it important?
Yes.
Look at whites. Why is it important for them to be white?
Why is it important what?
Yeah, to them be white. White privilege, white this, white that. Everything you see, if you don't read black history books, you would think that that whites built civilization, built this, did that, did everything. So when a black child grows up in that type of environment, what does it make them feel like? How do they feel?
Does that change black people in any way to know that they were first on earth? Why are they smart enough to show that they were first? Why are they allowing everybody else to outsmart them and outdo them?
The majority aren't taught anything about that. They don't talk about that in their families. They're the majority, but there are plenty of black folks who know something about their history, and there's some who know a lot about their history.
Well, they may know about the history, but they're not productive people. You don't really see them. They're not building a rocket ship to the moon, or they're not building nice neighborhood. They destroy neighborhood. Even when the white man gives them a nice neighborhood, they turn it into a ghetto. Like the fallen Messiah, Obama.
Okay.
They gave Obama a chance, the first black president, to be the president of the greatest country in the world. And what did he do?
Okay.
Turn it into a ghetto.
Well, going to another point you were talking about, why don't they create different things? They did create back in the day.
I'm talking about now, like over the last 150 years.
Let me finish my point, okay? Not only did they create things on Earth, but did you know that there are pyramids on Mars?
But we can't live in no pyramid. Are you saying they went up there and created pyramids?
How'd they get there?
How did they get there?
Look, not only are there pyramids on Mars, they have them put out in mathematical maps, and then they have a mountain that was carved with a man's face and looked like he had an Egyptian type garb on. Now, if you are a Martian and you're proud of your people, wouldn't you be making images of your people? Why make one of a humanoid? We don't make pictures of Martians, so we know that there's a good possibility that the pyramids are from here, and so are the people.
So if this is true, I still want to know what's wrong with black people now. They don't act like they're the smartest. They don't perform as though they're the smartest or the first.
What are you talking about?
Why are they leading the way in morality and building?
Are you saying the majority now? You're saying the majority.
Right, majority of blacks are screwed up.
Okay.
Not all, but most. If they're so smart, why don't they act like it?
You know about suppression.
But you can't suppress a smart man, especially if he's the first on earth.
Mm-hmm.
That cannot be done. Why is it happening to them if they're the first on earth?
That is not my specialty. I could not tell you why.
But during the study, after this type of study, when you wonder, wow, if this is true, the first man that God made in his image was first on earth, what's wrong with him now?
I'm a historian and I talk about the history.
Right, so what happened to their smartness?
I don't know.
And you don't wonder about that?
Of course.
And you haven't come up with an answer?
No, because that's not my thing. I've got a solution.
What's that?
For to how to get out of this, and that is to educate our children from this tall about our history, so that they are not in the frame of mind that I grew up with, that white is right and black is bad.